Welcome, my friends. Today we are talking about 100 shocking genealogy questions for relatives who don't remember or won't talk. Yes, that's right. And you guys are tuned in and fans of the Family History Foundation. My name is Franklin. Welcome once again. And you guys are on the Family History Foundation, where the past is relative to the future. Check us over at familyhistoryfoundation.com for all the words, subscriptions, and really, really cool stuff. So today we're going to talk about genealogy questions for relatives who don't remember, don't want to talk, and how to get them to talk. 100 questions, not literally 100, but check this out. We are going to have so much for you today. Okay, so have you ever sat down with a relative, excited to uncover family stories, only to be met with silence, a shrug, or the dreaded words, "I don't remember"? Huh? You're not alone. Have you ever been there? Many family historians, genealogists run into this roadblock. It's not uncommon because our hearts are in the right place. We want to dig out the information, and there's a line where we got to be respectful of people. We don't want to push too hard, right? We love our relatives, and we're really excited about what we can glean from those that we respect, right? Imagine sitting across from your grandmother, great grandparents, and asking them questions, right? So this is often a roadblock in people's research, and I'm going to help you unlock this, give you steps, suggestions, so by the time we're done with this, you have walk-away takeaways that you can sort of use, right? So there's good news for this, because sometimes this can feel discouraging. With the right genealogy questions for relatives, you can gently spark memories, build trust, and even turn reluctant storytellers into family historians themselves, right? It's like enticing somebody, exciting somebody with your message, yeah, and you get them into it slowly. So this is kind of really the magic, the power of interpersonal relationships, and why it's very important to sort of build these things. And quick tip, for those that are older, right? As we advance in age, right, it's very important for us to keep social activities, keep our mind busy, right? It's one of those, they say in medicine, that prevents Alzheimer's disease, right? Or at least sort of, delays it a little bit. So the importance of talking about the past, unlocking those memories and things, is not only beneficial for our research, the person asking, but it's also benefits the person being asked, the informant, because now they're actually benefiting themselves physiologically. So, there's something a little bit more beneath the surface than what we're just talking about, strict family history here, okay? But this guide will give you practical interview prompts, storytelling tips, memory games, yeah, worksheets, all these sort of different avenues that you can use, right? I'm giving you a whole list of them, and you use what you feel is appropriate, and you have a lot more backup. Say you want to go and do follow-up interviews, you can make things a little bit more where your person wants to be comfortable, okay? Dinners or even Zoom calls. So along the way, you'll discover creative strategies to capture family history, even when your loved ones claim they don't know anything. Everybody knows something, right? It's oftentimes willingness to talk about things, feeling comfortable, right? Having done research and interviews myself, it's just, imagine like an interview on television, right? You're just kind of leading your guests where they want to actually go and making them feel comfortable. Like the information they have, to me, is the key. That's gold. And it's like making them feel valued, right? Giving them a sense of value and pride, and creating an emotional state within the person you're asking where they really feel like they're sharing a legacy, and you are the person that is receptive of that and can value that, and they feel that you are carrying that in a valuable way to continue it on, right? It's like entrusting somebody with a valuable piece. Imagine you had to give a family member a bar of gold, right? Imagine you had to give them your prized watch or something that you care for very, very much. How would you feel looking at that person asking you for something, right? Put yourself in the shoes or the seat of the person that you're talking to, that family member, right? And think about that. Think about the value of the information as it associates with them, right? And what they're sort of sharing. So it can be, it could be something serious, or maybe people are more willing to share than others. Anyway, so that's a little bit of backdrop from my own experience. Okay, so like I said, there's literally not 100 questions we're going to go over today. However, there are, in a sense, 100 questions, at least 100 questions, because what we're giving you today are not sort of factual questions, but open-ended and thought-provoking prompts, right? So when you ask these questions, they're like leading questions. And once you ask one of these types of leading questions, it creates an infinite number of follow-up questions. Therefore, it's at least 100 with an exponent factor of another 100, okay? And so, right, once you ask one question, it prompts that person to unlock and unpack memories, right, by the emotions that they're experiencing, other memories, which are going to lead to other questions. Because once you find out that other bit of information, it's like, what was the town like where you were raised? Oh, wow. Really open-ended question there. You're going to get flooded with, oh man, they're going to talk about the park lawn, the house, they're going to talk about neighbors, right? And each one of those topics that comes back to you is a whole nother line of questions. It's like, oh, what was special about the park? Was there trees there? Did kids play? What was special about the house? Like, yeah, tell me about your neighbors. Like, were you related? Did you play with, family members growing up, or didn't you play with family members? And so on and so forth. I mean, you literally will never, ever run out of things to talk about. Okay, we've gotten into so much, and we haven't even gotten to the article yet. Okay, if you just walked away with my introduction, you're kind of in a golden state right now. But stick around to the end, because we also have a quiz for you and a challenge that we're going to leave you with, right, and how to contact Family History Foundation online and what we have to offer. Yes, for you. So here we go, right? We're going to talk about our table of contents here, okay? And it's kind of broken into nice chunks. How to add, basically the two sections are how to ask genealogy questions, prompts, worksheets, and storytelling tips, okay? And then the second sort of half are genealogy questions for relatives, fun games, memory prompts, and interview ideas. Really, really cool. Got it all boxed and packaged for you. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Family History Foundation. We're here for you. So, if you find value in what we do, we love ya. Okay, and head on over to familyhistoryfoundation.com. We have all the articles there. Everything written out for you in visual format, where you can just read it, go over it and over it, and share this stuff. Share it. I would really, really love that. So, why some relatives don't want to talk about family history or genealogy, okay? Before diving into this list of questions, it helps to understand why some family members don't share stories easily, right? And think about, when I'm talking about this, the context of your own family, right? Think about this, right? Some relatives may be silent because certain memories maybe are deeply painful. War, poverty, illness, or discrimination might make them avoid discussing the past, right? There's a deep-seated sort of things with them emotionally, yeah. Others grew up in an era when family business was kept private, so sharing stories feels unnatural to them. And that's certainly true from my experience in my family as well. Like, you just didn't talk about feelings. You didn't talk about things, right? But, and some simply feel their lives weren't special enough to be worth retelling, right? It's just, we were just average people. We just did average things. It's not special to be, retelling all these tales and events, right? And of course, aging can affect memory recall for sure. Dates, names, and places may fade, even when the feelings of those moments can remain strong with people, okay? So, a tip, of course, just be a human being, approach with compassion, right? Don't make it about the data and getting the data, right? This is not an inquisition, okay? Approach with compassion. Sometimes all it takes is the right question. Yes, this is absolutely true. Sometimes it just takes the right question, a safe space, or even a shared laugh to open the door to meaningful storytelling. Yes, creating a laugh, creating a connection, and maybe you already have it with your grandparents or parents, right? If you have a close sort of, syncophied relationship, it'll come out easily if you're used to talking around the dinner table every night. But maybe others that you're not close with, you might have to establish relationships with before people talk, And so how to ask these questions for relatives. The first step really is about how you ask, right? And for me, just life tip, everything you do in life to me is how. Motives mean everything in my day-to-day, okay? If you sit down with someone with a tape recorder and demand, tell me about your childhood, chances are they'll freeze. Yeah, you'll never do that, yeah. But with creative genealogy questions for relatives, you can make conversations feel like natural storytelling. That's what you want to do. And another interview tip that all broadcasters and professionals use is don't interrupt your guests, or try to keep that to a minimum, right? So when they're talking freely and you want to ask those questions, maybe just bookmark them, write them down, and follow up with them later. Don't sort of cut them off to go down a different tangent, right? Let them express. Let them feel comfortable in their realm of expression, in their theater, in their moment. Don't squash their moment. Give them their moment and smile back. And engage with them visually with your eyes, with your face, and your body language. Let them know you're there and you're with them and you're supporting them and you're engaged and you're feeling good about what they're having to say, okay? So, one, start with small, gentle prompts. Instead of broad, intimidating questions, begin with simple ones that tap into the senses and emotions. For example, try, what was your favorite toy or game as a child? This is kind of cool, yeah. What did your kitchen smell like when you were growing up? Yeah, name some of the foods. What were the sounds and sensations, right? And these are just sort of real small dialectics. You can, adjust these in any way that you sort of want to. Did your family have any funny traditions or sayings? These are kind of cool too, right? These prompts ease your relatives into reminiscing without pressure, yeah? Memories connected to smells, tastes, and sounds often surface more easily than facts like names or dates. And this is a fact proven by neuroscience that our brain actually stores events, memories by emotions and things associated with our smells, tastes, and sounds more than facts. That's the file storage mechanism of our brain and how it works. So anyway, use worksheets and printables if you want to, because sometimes you don't have maybe the capacity to remember all your questions, and maybe your, person you're interviewing may not be good at things like that. But so having a prop, so to speak, might help. So that's where guided worksheets come in handy. You can design printable templates with sections for childhood memories, school experiences, holiday traditions, or even favorite family sayings. Worksheets feel less intimidating than a blank notebook, and they help organize memories into manageable themes. And some people actually, as far as learning strategies go, like some people are more visual, some people are more auditory, and some people like worksheets. So maybe you can have the worksheet. Maybe the person, if you're interviewing them, might look at the worksheet and say, oh, that looks fun. Then it's time to just switch footing, right? Switch plays. It's like in football, an RPO. You're not going to run, you're going to pass, right? So like if they're looking at that with curiosity, going, oh, what's that worksheet? Maybe you just sit down and you just shift your chair by them and just say, hey, maybe we can fill this out together. And that becomes a sort of game on its own. Okay, so that's another technique, right? You can also share these worksheets at family reunions or email them before your Zoom call or interview. Say, here's what I'm going to ask you. Maybe take some time to talk about it, okay? Younger family members might even enjoy filling them out together, like I just said, turning memory collecting into a shared project. It doesn't even have to be younger family members. It can be anybody family members, okay? So if you need some templates, maybe you're thinking, well, where would I get some templates? Well, I have some, okay? I've written an article called 10 Free Family History Templates to Download, Organize, and Share, Display Your Family Tree, and the 10 Best Free Family Tree Templates to Download. These are family tree templates, but I also have a genealogy roadblock buster article for you too. So these will help. You can maybe take them. So the next one, is to encourage storytelling over facts, like I said. Okay, genealogy isn't just about dates, it's about stories. And this is what separates genealogy from family history. Maybe you associate those two terms sort of coterminously as the same, But to me, they're different. They're on a different semantic spectrum. Genealogy to me is more about dates and names. Family history, because it has the word family and history in it, is about the stories. That's where the juice is, man. A fact-only question like, what year did you graduate, can stall conversation. And maybe it might evoke a little bit of conversation, but instead use open-ended questions, right? What do you remember about your graduation day? Who cheered for you the loudest at your graduation? What did you wear? How did it feel walking across the stage? Right? So these are great open-ended questions that lead to the stories. And if you were only after the year in which your grandparent, parent, whatever graduated, I mean, obviously you can look that up and you'll know that. But if you don't know that, use the open-ended question first. And then when they talk about graduation day, you can just sort of slip that in and go, oh yeah, what year was that? And and then you can ask more questions around that and they'll feel more comfortable talking about that, right? And if they don't remember, you can start asking them about maybe right after high school, they went to work and, oh yeah, what year did you start working at so-and-so company? And then you can kind of backtrack and figure it out with them. Oh yeah, so you graduated in X years, -2, whatever, or 3. So by asking for stories, you encourage details and emotions. Good genealogy questions for relatives will spark emotion. These stories will enrich your family tree with texture, humor, and personality. I love that so much. Yeah. Okay, so record stories creatively. Yes, not everyone wants to sit for a formal interview. No, that's dusty. Try casual approaches. Record a short voice memo while cooking together. Yeah, it could be cool, right? Use a phone camera for a quick video chat or turn the process into a family game, right? These are just creative strategies to talk about it, right? The goal isn't perfection, really. And again, when you're doing these things, it's not about perfection. It's about capturing memories before they're lost, right? It's getting something and then moving on from there. It's not a one-time catch it all in one go process, right? This can be and should be an evolving process, a continuation, right? Because really, if you just hop into somebody's life, ask them questions and leave, it's kind of like, oh wow, what just happened there? Maybe you want to make it ongoing. Just do it in small increments, small bits, right? And you'll find over time the juicy stories will come out after months at a time, right? As if you go back and you talk over regular intervals, that's when you're going to really dig deep, okay? You'll expect people to open up more, just like any friendship or marriage or relationship, right? It grows over time and things evolve. All right, so you can casually incorporate your genealogy questions for relatives right into your daily activities. And that's the point of this right here, right? You don't have to make it formal. If you're talking with your mom, get that recipe while you're cooking it. You know what I mean? Don't sit down later and go, oh, tell me about your favorite recipe. How about, hey, can we make this recipe? I'm so craving this. And then we're doing it, record it, talk about it, go through it with them. Maybe get out that old recipe book while they have it out, photograph it, and maybe even not just feel like you're taking something from them, but say, hey, I want to pass this on to my kids. Like, hey, can we make this together and maybe I can make it? Like you'll guide me and let me make it. So, right? And then you'll have something that values the person that you're working with, right? So it's not about taking. You also want to give back, and you want them to feel empowered and enriched in their lives. And when it's all said and done, you want them to walk away feeling better about it than when they got there. Okay, that really is the ultimate end game with this for me. Okay, so well, here are some fun games and memory prompts. Okay, so part 2. Let's talk about these really quickly. I've given you so much so far. Like, you just have the question base, you have a lot of things, the techniques to get in there. And, with any thought, you can think, just sit down and say, I need 20 questions, and you will get 20 questions, okay? Your family. I can give you broad brush questions, but your family. Use the things that I've given you so far and write them. Think about them. Have fun with it, really, honestly, okay? So speaking of fun, right, if you want to enmesh this experience in more fun, even more fun if that's possible, here are a few ideas. So family history bingo. Oh yeah, that's got to be fun. Bingo is making a comeback, people. So this is going to be a great time to do this, okay? Games and activities work especially well for reluctant relatives or younger generations who want to be included as well. Create bingo cards with life experiences instead of numbers. Yeah, if you're really crafty and creative, some of the squares might say, had a family nickname, worked on a farm, traveled by train, sang in a school play. Yeah, maybe that'll apply. And you can have bingo, you did all these things, right? This is a fun event, okay? As relatives share stories, players mark off squares. The first to finish a row wins. Not only does it keep everyone engaged, it gets people laughing and swapping memories. Yeah, you could even have fun with your family creating the genealogy questions for your relatives in advance of the game. How cool would that be, right? Imagine the laughs and bonding over which experiences to include in your bingo game. Yeah, that's great. You'll have a truckload of questions and multiple bingo games to do. Yeah, okay. So a memory box or a photo game might be kind of cool. Yeah, bring out old family photos, postcards, or heirlooms even, and ask questions like, who do you think this person is, right? Like a little show and tell almost, right? What story does this object remind you of? When did you think this was taken? When did you think this was taken? And where do you think this was taken? Yeah, and you could have some sort of game. And even if your relative doesn't remember, the images and objects themselves often unlock hidden memories. Drum up 5 more questions using the prompts above. Get started on that right now. Yeah, and again, remember follow-up questions, right? If, like I said, if they don't remember these, create new ones around what they say to you. How about storytelling, dice, or cards? Maybe you can make a deck of prompt cards, such as a favorite meal growing up was, and bust it out on them, right? Shuffle the deck and, do that. The scariest weather I ever experienced was blank. You could have a coordinate chart, right? You could have every color and number within a deck of cards on a spreadsheet, which equivalates to a question, and you can just change the questions, right? So like you just shuffle your deck. You don't have to actually create your own deck. And Ace of Hearts comes out. You look on your spreadsheet, Ace of Hearts equals the scariest weather I ever experienced was. And then when those questions get all used up, you create new questions and re-input them into your card deck. Et voila. I actually just thought of that right now as I'm talking to you. Am I a genius or am I a genius? Well, actually, I am. And so we can do that. You can do that or create your own games, just as I have right there. Okay. So you can make a genealogy game board out of this. So, okay, we're almost done here. Okay. And let's do a quick quiz before we wrap up. Okay. Are you guys ready? Okay. Get your hands all loose. Get your body loose. Okay. Now here's your quiz. Okay. 1, 2 questions. 2 questions. That's it. Okay. Which family history detective are you? Take this quiz to see your style of asking genealogy questions for relatives. Okay, here you go. When a relative shrugs and says, I don't remember, you, okay, A, switch to a lighter, fun question. B, pull out old photos or heirlooms. C, ask them to tell a story instead of facts. Or D, you quickly turn it into a game. Okay, got your answer? Cool. Let's get on to question number 2. Your favorite tool is worksheets and guided prompts. B, old photos and heirlooms. C, a recorder or notebook. Or D, bingo cards and games. All right, got your answer? Here we go. Here are your results. If you had mostly A's in those questions, you are a gentle guide. Ah, bless you. If you are mostly B's, then you are a memory spark. You're trying to elicit that spark of memory. If you are mostly C's, then you are a story collector. Yes, you're aggregating. I love it. And if you are mostly D's, you are a game master. You're a fun person. Like you just want to have fun. Okay, so I love that. Drop a comment down below what you were, A, B, C, or D, okay? And additional tips, right, is to be patient. Silence always doesn't mean refusal. It may mean your relative is searching for words, right? Show gratitude, man. Thank them for sharing, no matter how small the detail. And when it's all over, give them a big hug if it's appropriate, and just show gratitude and say thank you, yeah? Let them feel valued and honored. Okay, you are the custodian of your family history. Remember that. So by obtaining that information, it is now your trust. It's now your responsibility to maintain that information in a good way. So always do that and build trust. Make sure that they know they don't have to share anything uncomfortable. Okay, and follow up. A letter, email, a short call after your conversation often brings up new memories and just lets them know that they are valued. People want to know that they're like, yeah, that's appreciated. This is like receiving a birthday gift. Send them a card, give them a call and say, thank you so much, because you literally were given a gift when you gotten that information from a relative, a family member, and they shared a story or a photo or anything. You've really been given a valuable gift. I want you to see the world that way. Okay, so useful resources, okay, for getting started. Yeah, I have a few articles here, to help you get on your way, or even if you're starting this, feeling stuck, or after, during the post process of what to do that with that information. Here you go. I have the number one thing you should be looking at once you get that information, what to do with it and how to treat it, is the Genealogy Research Online article, the one ultimate user-friendly beginner's guide. Ooh la la. Yeah, I have 15 genealogy research habits that save time. This is going to help you with your information. Importantly, how to overcome genealogy brick walls, 10 powerful strategies to break through those brick walls, and how to date old family photos, identify ancestors by clothing, style, and tools. I have so much more, including free templates, research and comparative guides on why ancestry is number one, why family search is so good, what free testing sites you can use out there, free genealogy resources. I have tons of those. Everyone loves free genealogy resources. So head on over to familyhistoryfoundation.com. I got you. We got tons of them. Okay. Also on this channel, I have videos pertaining to those articles. Okay. And so your final challenge for this is try asking a family member for one of these, right? Any of these questions, just drop it on them. Yeah. Even if you're not doing a formal thing, just test the waters out. Stick your toe in the pool and feel the ripple. See what happens. What's a smell that takes you back to childhood? Okay. Who was the funniest person in your family? That's got to be a good one. What's one piece of advice you'd give to future generations? Ooh, that you better be ready for an answer. Okay. So share your comments below. Head on over to Family History Foundation. Drop some comments down there. Connect with us on social media. And I just really want to thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of the Family History Foundation. I release new articles and videos all the time. And so like and subscribe to this channel. Share the content across this wide planet of ours, because everyone needs to know that genealogy is valuable, and to value and share our family history is such an important component of who we are in the society that we are in. Is so valuable as an aspect of continuity. And check the description for more genealogy goodies. Thanks for tuning in. Love you. We'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.